My name is Haji. I'm a meditation teacher and astrologist. I write, I style, and I'm a musician. Self-care is cultivating a relationship with myself, learning to become more comfortable in my body, with my mind, with my soul. I think it's essential parce que ce genre de travail-là, d'essayer de comme juste même devenir égal ou comme recognized as existing, parce que quand t'es noir, comme t'as même pas ce basic right of just being allowed to exist. Alors, having self-care or like meditation even gets you to a place where you can feel empowered regardless of what's happening outside of you, but there's just like this deep self-connection and self-knowing and even maybe connection to something beyond you that can kind of keep you with your head up and keep you clear and able to like execute your activism in a more like laser-like manner, because you're not getting like distracted by things like self-sabotage or anger, all these things that could like, I find, derail somebody when they're doing work like that. But you're like centered and able to kind of then channel that into true power and evolve the community. My 10-point self-care program, number one, my breathing practice. Yes, that is a form of meditation, but it's also like when we start getting like really specific into like subcultures of meditation, very much like my breathing practice has been the most transformational. I really like going into something called float therapy. So it's like in these tanks where there's enough salt water that it mimics being in 0G. So like you lie down and it feels like you're in outer space, and it's like a practice called pratiques, which is sensory deprivation. So il n'y a pas de lumière, il n'y a pas de son, il n'y a rien. Puis c'est vraiment comme toi dans la noirceur. Obviously you can have the light on if you want, mais c'est vraiment une pratique encore de méditation où ce que you cut off all your senses and you turn inward. So that's an essential practice of mine, being mindful of how I'm eating and what I'm eating. So making sure that at this point in my life it's primarily vegan, but I'm also maintaining this softness that sometimes it's okay to be vegetarian when like, as opposed to not eating that day. Or if also noticing how maybe on some days or months, I might need some animal protein. So c'est correct de comme rajouter cette semaine-là quelque chose juste pour que je me ressente bien, mais for the most part, really learning to create a boundary of trying to be vegan and holding myself to that and making sure I eat regular enough so that I don't feel like my blood sugar is like all these things that kind of bring you off balance. So yeah, just being mindful of like diet, writing, so journaling, just kind of like I call it a brain drain, where je sais pas de comme be deep in it or like be profound or have these like transformational ideas, but just like actually emptying my mind, comme pour quelques pages of just this kind of brain drain, so that then by the end of that, then okay, now the thoughts that are coming through are a bit more deep, because it's like I've kind of watered off all of the clutter and the crap, taking the time to write down my dreams and then also reread them. So by dreams, I mean like actual when you sleep and you go into dream state. Juste de prendre le temps de record my dreams. So any details, and sometimes it even just comes as like images or impressions and sounds, and like, but to treat that as valid. And then also taking the time to reread that, because I found there's like actual guidance there, comme si qu'il y avait comme moi dans le futur somewhere who's figured out like some kind of technology and is like helping me through dream in the present. So I really take the time to write down what I'm dreaming and reread. Another practice I really like doing that is in conjunction with the dreams is making sure I'm listening to my intuition and making sure I'm acting on my ideas. So really taking the time that if something means something to me, then acting on it. Because it's one thing to come avoir des idées, mais je trouve ça que it shows care if I take the time to actually follow through on what I think is a good idea for myself or the world around me. So just that aspect of kind of trusting instinct, and also like cultivating instinct and how that manifests for me. Like, how is instinct being expressed within my body? Like, how do I know that that's instinct? And same with intuition, like how is intuition being communicated to me? How do I how are symbols popping up in my life? Comment est-ce que mon intuition me parle? Comment est-ce que mon instinct me parle? Quelle sensation? What does it feel like to really kind of fine-tune this relationship of seeing something, but then with eyes closed, but then trying to like execute it externally? My wardrobe, and it's as simple as like just tuning in that day and seeing what colors do I need, what kind of fabrics on my skin, what kind of shapes to kind of again make me feel more comfortable with myself, more able to kind of be myself in spaces, more able to express without having words, but just like as me showing up. So wardrobe has been huge for that. And I think back to like times quand t'es comme en enfance and you're being like bullied. And like I specifically remember the day when like personne à l'école voulait me parler, but like I remember what I wore and how that made me feel safe at the time when nothing else seemed to be feeling safe around me, like deep hostility, but there's that sense of like self-love that I'll be okay. Puis je pense ça vient with like wardrobe and like the care you put with like what you place on yourself, how you choose to embellish yourself. Another practice would be my actual formal meditation practice. So like how you would see it classically, where like eyes closed, cross-legged, ce genre de vraiment stéréotypique meditation, looking for views. So like on any given day, like looking for something that I can go like, wow, whether it's like the sky or comme aller sur la montagne, aller catch the view, or like wherever it is, but like looking for something in my external environment that can give me that sense of wonder, or like remembering that like there's hope, or like just that feeling of like seeking, awe, I would say my skincare, and I take it seriously in that like I'm not like my younger sister who is like, she has all kinds of products and she's really taking care like that. Me, it's like much more ignorant and basic, but just like making sure I'm using things on my skin that again make me feel good, and like this idea of like touching skin, and it's again a chance for me to kind of just make sure I'm okay in the process where I'm applying whatever oil that works for whatever part of my body. My restorative practice. So and by restorative yoga I mean like le genre où ce que t'as plein de propre, puis c'est comme so it's not like yoga and I'm trying to do the split and like work out like that, but really like placing so many pillows that it feels like sleep, and like straps and bolsters and like blocks, et puis comme tu te couches, puis même you can pass out in the posture because that's how comfortable you feel, but getting to this place where even in the most unusual postures of body or mind, I'm able to find comfort. It's magic, comme je vois un futur tellement bright, parce que c'est vraiment, je pense, la partie comme, pas qui manque, parce qu'il y a plein de gens noirs qui en font du self-care, like, c'est sûr, mais I feel like if collectively the number got so high that like that many people of color would have the self-care practice, then like, c'est le genre de comme révolution that I hope to be present while that is like happening in society. It's the type of thing that like, I hope I get to be part of that that world.